Welcome to Cougar Park. If you couldn't tell, the PA system will tell you. You should know that by now by any of our coverages on BBC Radio Cumbria Sport. We're always battling against the Cougar army here at Cougar Park. We'll run through the two lineups before hearing from Whitehaven head coach Anthony Murray when I caught up with him earlier this week. We'll start with your Whitehaven lineup. So they line up. There is a complete positional and personnel change across the back seven. Not one single player is in the same position they were last week. That's due to injuries and illnesses in the camp this afternoon. There's no Cole Walker-Taylor due to an injury he picked up last time out, so Ethan Bickerdike deputises in at half-back. On the wings, Zenden Callender comes in to make his debut, does the former Lauca man, and Jay Weatherall on the opposite wing. Dave Eccleston and Mitchell Todd move into the centres. It's a half-back partnership with Joe Lowe and Jack Newbegin. Kieran Walker been battling illness all week and has not made it this afternoon. The starting forwards are unchanged compared to the back lineup. So it's Jake Pierce. Oh, there's one change, I apologise. Jake Pierce and Mark Shackley is the change. Jordan Thompson struggling with his ongoing back complaint. Ellison Holgate in at hooker. Second rows are Connor Holliday and Rio McQuiston. Jack Kellett in at loose forward. On the interchange bench, Brad Brennan, Ellis Nixon, Liam Williamson, and another debutant in Jackson Smith. The 18-year-old joined from Hensingham in pre-season, spent time previously with Hull FC, but has made the step up now to professional rugby and will make his debut for Whitehaven this afternoon. The 18th man, if needed, for Anthony Murray's side this afternoon is Lewis Brown. For Keighley Cougars, it's my favourite game, this, coming to a club and finding how many former Whitehaven players are in the lineup. 4 former Whitehaven players in the Keighley lineup this afternoon. 7 across Super League so far this weekend. For the Cougars, they line up with Connor Sainer in at fullback, Ollie Whitford and Brad Holroyd, one of the first ones of the former Whitehaven mans on the wings. Dylan Proud and Max Clark in the centres. He's got Cumbrian representation at Workington and Barrow. Starting halfbacks, experienced Isaac Farrell and Matty Baharrell. Starting props, Jordan Schofield and Ronan Michael here on I believe an initial 1 week loan. Let's not go into it. He's another former Whitehaven loanee as well, with Ollie Burton in at hooker. Second rows are Alfie Dean and the former Whitehaven man in Lachlan Lansky. Another former Whitehaven man, the loanee George Hill. He's here at Cougar Park on a season-long loan. Starting on the bench is George Flanagan, Joe Bayer, Lucas Green and Dan Parker. The 18th man, if needed, for the Cougars this afternoon is Nathan Rushworth. Plenty of action across the championship this afternoon, and it will be Keighley to get us underway through Isaac Farrell. Kick-off comes now, and it's going to be collected by Jack Newbegin, and he'll find Mark Shackley, and Shackley will look to fetch the ball forward. Well, the former Whitehaven captain is being dragged back 5 or 6 metres there as Mark Shackley. Great work from the Keighley defence. Holgate in a dummy half, and it's now Jake Pierce who will look to take his side forward. The former Waff Brown man taken down 12 metres away from his own line. Holgate lining way to dummy half. Will elect to go left into the hands of Rio McQuiston. McQuiston brought down just short of the 20, but by the time he gets up and plays the ball, he'll be right on that 20 metre line. Holgate looked to go right, but elected to go himself. Brought down 8 metres later into the hands now of Jack Newbegin. It's a shortened sort of 30 and 40, so Whitehaven now over that and are actually only now 5 metres short of halfway. Pitch a bit of a postage stamp here at Cougar Park. It's the 5 and last into the hands of Newbegin, who gets the kick away. It will be allowed to bounce. Will it bounce kindly for Whitehaven? The Keighley man's dived on it, which is Ollie Whitford. Nearly fell in favour there as Connor Sainer allowed that ball to bounce down, Fowler.
Yeah, never let it bounce, never let a rugby ball bounce, and it almost came up trumps for Whitehaven there, and they were calling for a knock on, but the referee doing nothing there. So, but yeah, Keighley just about making it up to their 30 metre mark, and as you say, for 30 metre, 40 metre mark, it should be a 10 metre difference.
It's about two,
yeah,
if you look
maybe.
Max Clark now with ball in hand for the Cougars, and he's not going to be brought down. He'll play this just over the halfway line, goes right into the hands of Baharrell, and now finds Farrell, and looking to put it on that edge once more now into the hands then of Dylan Proud, number 5 on his back, but in its centre this afternoon. It is the 5 and last, and the Cougars are a couple of metres short of the Whitehaven 40. He comes into the hands of Isaac Farrell. He puts a high spiralling kick on the up in the sky, and it's going to be lost. Is it by Zenden Callender? Is it going to be comes off his feet? It's a windy afternoon here at Cougar Park, so them kicks are going to be something that both sides may struggle with. Callender there couldn't get the touch he wanted, but it does mean Whitehaven do keep hold of the ball and look to fetch it forward. Mitchell Todd's taken down, and it's now Mark Shackley looking to try and take his side forward here. 21 metres away from his own line there. Is it going to be a penalty? He said Mark Shackley thought he was going to blow his whistle. There was referee Luke Bland, but then he said Mark Shackley was the instigator of that he was holding the Keighley man down. Holgate in the dummy half as Jake Pearce played the ball into the hands now of Newbegin, looking to get out the back into Ethan Biggerdike. It is now the 5 and last. Biggerdike, of course, in a full-back this afternoon. Come down the short side on the 5 and last. Into the hands of Jack Newbegin. It's going to be allowed to bounce once more. It's bounced kindly right into the hands of Holly Whitford. But the Cougars back three haven't been anywhere near the opening 2 kicks of the game, Dan Fowler.
No, but I think both have found ground though, so and been allowed to bounce. So that's probably something that Whitehaven might be able to get influence on, I guess, and make the indecisiveness of the Keighley players. But yeah, we'll see what happens at the end of this set, because obviously we know that both Isaac Farrell and Matty Beharrell both very good with kicking the ball downfield and causing issues.
First penalty of the afternoon goes to the Keighley side. George Hill has had the ball stripped from him. Of course, the former Whitehaven loanee spent spells across a couple of seasons at Whitehaven. Did George Hill when Whitehaven were in the championship a couple of years ago. Beharrell looking to go along. It's a windy afternoon. Jay Weatherall was interested in that one for all of a couple of seconds before I realised it was going to go over the touchline. And it does mean the Cougars will start this sort of 25 metres away from the Whitehaven line, and now being brought forward by Ronan Michael, the Nova former Whitehaven loan. He spent time while he was at the Huddersfield Giants back in 2021 for then Gary Charlton's side. Coming across the line now into the hands then, is it of Schofield? Yes, it is Jordan Schofield, brought down on the 10 metre line. Burton in there at dummy half, going to go right. Finds Farrell, looking to get it out the back as he finds another former Whitehaven man in Lachlan Lansky. Lansky's taken down. Farrell dives in the dummy half. Has he got over Isaac Farrell? He has. Dived out just into the 5th minute here at Cougar Park. Yet again, not the start that Whitehaven will have wanted, but just able to get a roll on following that penalty. Were the Cougars just into the 5th minute here at Cougar Park. It is Cougars 4, Whitehaven 0.
Yeah, a little bit too easy there. Muzza won't be too happy with that, especially giving away the penalty. And as we've said about the postage stamp of a pitch, doesn't take much for metres to be made, and especially with Beharrell's kicks, found touch 20-30 metre downfield, and after a quick clear the ball, and defences at 6 and 7's Isaac Farrell getting his way over the line for the game's opening score.
You've mentioned there, and we spoke to Anthony Murray, it's that smaller pitch. It's probably one of the smallest in the league within the game now that Oddsel's had its work done. It really is a smaller surface, like you say. There's maybe only 1.5 metres, 2 metres maximum between what should be the 30 and the 40 here at Cougar Park, so that is something that Whitehaven will have to take into consideration. To be fair, I'd expected the pitch to be a bit more wet and muddy out there. I spoke to Alex Nixon before the game. He said it's not that wet, it's just really sticky, which is still going to be quite leg zapping for those out there this afternoon. Matty Beharrell will be the man to line up the conversion here for the Cougars. Takes his couple of steps forward before slotting it right over the black dot here between the sticks at Cougar Park, and it is now 5.5 minutes on the clock. Cougars 6, Whitehaven 0, and Whitehaven just need to put that to the back of their mind and try and stay in this contest.
Yeah, without a doubt, that is the key. You've got to stay in it, and as we've said regarding the pitch, indiscipline gets amplified even more, because penalties, you can make so many metres from the kicks. Yeah, we'll have to see what Whitehaven can do on this restart set. Hopefully can kind of stop the bleeding as such.
Biggerdike with the kick-off collected behind his back by Isaac Farrell, and it's now the Cougars will fetch it over on that far right-hand side. Brought it into around about 12-13 metres away from their own line with Jordan Schofield. Lockley Lansky now fetching it forward. He joined Cougars after one season at Whitehaven. Alex Bishop joined at the time, but of course he's now made the move to fellow Cumbrians, the Barrow Raiders. George Hill now looking to try and take his side forward here. Really surprised he hasn't had more time in the cast side as George Hill. He's always impressed me whenever he's ever been in a Whitehaven shirt or seen him in a Castleford shirt, as well as Ollie Burton now takes the Cougars over halfway. So look up the tackles left in the bank here as it goes right. Couple of pairs of hands then into the hands of Beharrell. Now finds Isaac Farrell. They're looking to go here, and they're nearly through there is Dylan Proud on that right hand side. It is now the 5 and last, 22-23 metres out into the hands of Beharrell, who goes cross field. Holroyd's collected in front of Zenden Callender, and it's back-to-back tries for the Cougars. think Callender was initially covering, I think, for Ethan Bickerdike. Maybe wasn't in the position he wanted, so he was out of the position himself, was sending Callender, and then just stood and in the perfect position to collect that ball. Did Brad Holroyd. Back-to-back tries for the Cougars. We're into the 8th minute. They lead 10-0 here at Cougar Park. The worst possible start for Whitehaven.
Without a doubt, it's a superb take from Holroyd. But like you say, yeah, Callender just didn't look set, and Holroyd had a bit of a run on him and got up, leapt like a salmon and got there. You're probably going to be expecting more kicks towards that wing, mainly because of the size and height of Max Clark as well. But it were Holroyd that did the damage there. And yeah, 10-0 after not even as many minutes. Yeah, it's not looking too good for Whitehaven. That, as we were saying about stopping the bleeding, but one set and they made 70 metres. A great little burst from Dylan Proud, almost a half break as such. They're going to keep focusing on him as well, because it seems like he only knows one way.
Yeah, we're just into the 9th minute here at Cougar Park. Matty Mihaddle going to be lining up the conversion from the left-hand side of the field, sort of 18 metres on the straight, bit of angle involved, just say beyond the 10 metre line from the sideline, so maybe 7 and 8 metres in from the touchline. Comes at it right footed, Matty Mihaddle, and as you'd expect, it's right over the black dot once more again from the ever reliable Matty Mihaddle. Cougars 12, Whitehaven 0. Cougars scored 12 points against the Whitehaven side, Dan Fowler, that have scored 10 points in 3 games. They're going to have to go against that this afternoon to try and get back in that contest.
Absolutely, yeah. There can be no feeling sorry for themselves here. They've got to make sure that they're all eyes on this defensive set. Just take it set by set and try and stay in the game.
Bickerdike's kick will bounce, and it's going to be juggled by Isaac Farrell before he finds Jordan Schofield. But hopefully that means that they can try and pin the Cougars down here. They've pinned them behind their own 10 metres from the kick-off. But it's a penalty, however, holding him down too long. It's just a second penalty of the afternoon. I don't think Whitehaven, this will be the 3rd, 4th consecutive set that Whitehaven now had to defend. They haven't been able to keep the Cougars out in the previous ones. Mihaddle looking to go long again, and he's made what would be, he's got over the halfway line from his own 10 metres. I know it's a shorter pitch, but it just shows you what a boot he's got on him, has Matty Mihaddle. So it means the Cougars will start in the Haven territory once more, and popped up then into the hands of Ronan Michael, the Irish international, and he's Irish born as well. Is Ronan Michael. Comes left into the hands of Farrell, calls out the back to Mihaddle. They're going for it once more into the hands, and is it Alfie Dean? Is that a change on the... No, it's second row is Alfie Dean. Comes into this left hand side once more, hands to Max Clark. Clark looks to step inside. Still going is Max Clark. We're coming back for a penalty. There was a Cougars man taken out in back play. I couldn't tell you who it was, but there was one taken out in back play. Luke Bland has tried to see where that has come from. Connor Holliday just having the conversation with Luke Blunt to say, well, you've played about 2 players on, sir, but it's into the hands now of Burton, and he'll look to take the tap. Cougars really ramping it up against Whitehaven here in the early stages. We're just into the 11th minute. They're searching for their 3rd try in the early stages here. This Keighley side. Burton in there at dummy half. Here will go right into the hands of Mihaddle, then finds Michael, who tries to spin and twist his way out the tackle. Does the Irishman. 1.5 metres, 2 metres out. Whitehaven need to survive here. It's Mihaddle. Comes across then to Alfie Dean. Dean comes now, taken down. Clark in there. Dummy half. They're 3-4 metres out. Goes right now into the hands of Mihaddle. The hack behind the 10 metres. Into the hands of Connor Sainer. Sainer taken down. Burton in there at dummy half. Really should be a separate presser here at Cougar Park. 6 again though in favour. Whitehaven just can't comprehend or keep this defence Keighley side out at the minute without conceding infringement. Schofield plays the ball. Burton goes right, finds Mihaddle, then going to go out the back to Farrell, and then in Lansky, and that's what Whitehaven needed. They needed the error. Mitchell Todd collects the ball, but he's going to be brought down, and we're going to come back for the scrum down. Whitehaven can take a bit of confidence from there, Dan Fowler. There was a few infringements in there, but they survived 2-3 back-to-back sets.
Yeah, absolutely, and it'll probably be the first time they've had possession in about 6 or 7 minutes. We've been playing 12,
easily,
so yeah, it's one of those. You've got to make sure that you're completing this set, and when you do get Keighley down deep in their own half, not to concede a penalty, because we know what damage that Beharrell can do with that ensuing penalty kick as well. Into touch.
That scrum was a mess. There was no one in it. fetch the ball forward to Whitehaven through Dave Eccleston in at centre this afternoon as Connor Holliday met there with a concoction of his former teammates. Nixon finds and it's Joe Lowe. Yeah, bit of a mess on that one as well, but Joe Lowe is the man that's going to be taken down as he slipped on the sticky surface here at Cougar Park. Into the hands now of Jake Pearce. Pearce finds his front. Holgate, dummy half. Comes in the hands now in Newbegin. Newbegin throws a dummy nearly through there. Finds off all the way into the hands of even Biggerdike. Biggerdike nearly through the middle.
Well done. Good work.
Over the halfway line now with Whitehaven. Holgate in there at dummy half. Looking to come down the short side as Holgate scoots from dummy half. Great work there from Ellison Holgate. 5 and last. It comes into the hands then. Not the best pass to Jack Newbegin. Newbegin looks to get the kick away. Sainer will be underneath it on this occasion. Joe Lowe's on the chase, however, and just falls off the tackle and then pinned for offside within 10 metres there was Joe Lowe. Conceded 4 penalties in the opening 13 minutes here at Cougar Park. Anthony Murray must be ripping his hair out.
It's not going to work, is it? It's not going to work. But yeah, everyone were in front of Newbegin there.
No, but that was because it was the pass that just couldn't take it.
Absolutely, no, without a doubt. Yeah, nothing that Jack could have done there.
George Hill takes the first hit up. He's taken down. Finds his front. There's George Hill. Burton's going to be in there at dummy half. Bahaddle now finds Jordan Schofield. Got through a lot of work, mainly attacking, of course, in the early stages as Schofield will push back over the halfway line. Shackley, Holiday and Kellett all involved. Comes left now into the hands of Bahaddle. Then into the hands of fantastic take from Connor Sainer. And he's broken through. Trying to step back inside of even Biggerdike. And he's in his left-hand side corner. This Connor Sainer. Fantastic collection from the fullback. If he doesn't collect that, Whitehaven go the opposite way and they're probably in for the 4-pointer. But it was fantastic. One-handed collection from the Cougars fullback. He's then got past and broke through the Whitehaven defence and being able to outpace even Biggerdike into this left-hand side corner. It's the 3rd try of the afternoon for the Cougars. We're just into the 15th minute. They're still going at more than points in a minute at the moment at Keighley. It is now Keighley 16. Whitehaven 0.
Yes, and perfectly chimed into the line there, and he's probably learning that from the likes of his head coach Ian Hardman, obviously a prolific former championship fullback as well. But yeah, like you were saying, it could have easily gone 4 points the other way if he drops that cold. The Keighley players were in front, and it would have been a race to the line. But yeah, after breaking through the Haven defensive line, had one man to beat and managed to do that as well. For Herald to be converting from the touchline here, we'll see if he can make it 18-0. Inside 15 minutes, but yeah, it's grim at Cougar Park.
Yeah, it's Cougars. I said in the build-up, could Whitehaven tame the Cougars at the moment? The Cougars are prowling all over Whitehaven, aren't they? It's Matty Bahaddle lining up his conversion. We've just entered the 16th minute here at Cougar Park. It's a point a minute as it stands. Bahaddle looking to tag the extras on from this left-hand side. Bahaddle right-footed. Just falls wide of the right hand side post and remains 16-0 here at Cougar Park. BBC Radio Cumbria Sports Online, and the worst opening 15 minutes Whitehaven have probably had for a long time, probably since the last time you were with us. One of the last times you were a girl on that afternoon, Dan. But it's been the Cougars have just had everything in their favour in this opening quarter of an hour.
Yeah, penalty count and just everything like you were saying. It's just so tough against the side who are they're smelling blood, aren't they? And they're really looking to put on a score here.
Collected by Fowler. Jordan Schofield once again to fetch it forward. Whitehaven haven't changed their kick-off the team, but they're full of confidence here are the Cougars. Jordan Schofield somehow, with 3 men on him, got his arm 3 and found Isaac Farrelly found another 5 or 6 extra metres. Ronan Michael now fetching it forward for the Cougars on the 30, so only a couple of metres away from that 40. Burton in there at dummy half, into the hands now of Schofield, and Kellett does well to bring him down pretty much on his own before being joined by Mark Shackley onto his back. 3 metres short of halfway, into the middle now with Matty Bahaddle. Bahaddle puts it back right into the hands of George Hill. Escapes 1 tackle, escapes 2 tackles, isn't going to escape a third. Is George Hill. But the Castleford Loney wrapped up over the halfway line. Farrell now finds Bahaddle into the hands of Alfie Dean. Whitehaven, it's 6s and 7s once more, and he's broken through his Alfie Dean. Jack Newbegin climbs on the top of him and fetches him down. It's the 5 and last. Burton, dummy half, goes right. They have the numbers. They get the kick in behind. It's the 4th of the afternoon for Keighley. Ollie Whitford on that right hand side. Keighley are ripping Whitehaven to shreds here at Cougar Park. Just into the 18th minute, Keighley Cougars 20, Whitehaven at 0, and at the moment Dan Fowler, men against boys.
Yeah, absolutely, there's no doubt about it. It's Alfie Dean strolling through the middle of the field there and just managing to be brought down on the 5th, but on the last, Isaac Farrell had so many options and he's picked the right one really with a little kick over to the wing. It's an easy try for Keighley. Just not the riot act being read behind the sticks there in front of the Keighley fans, but where do we go? It's just
can't get worse. Surely it can't get worse for Whitehaven out there. They're struggling. You mentioned the riot act is getting read. Connor Holliday, I can see, is having a few words. There'll be a couple of others as well.
He's just softening it through the middle there. You've been playing 19 minutes and probably fatigue already kicking in because of the amount of defensive sets that have had to be defended.
Bahadal will tag on the extras here at Cougar Park. Cougars 22, Whitehaven 0. We're not at the end of the first quarter here, with 18 and a half pretty much on the clock here at Cougar Park. Ian Hardman must be in dreamland, Dan Fowler.
Well, it just goes to show you mentioned about the confidence that they're playing with. Schofield, the first tackle of that restart set, the set that they've just scored from, and he's offloaded inside his own 20 metres. And when that's coming off, then you're at 6s and 7s already. Yeah, it's tough times for Whitehaven. Got to stop him here.
That kick-off is getting gradually shorter as well, isn't it, from Ethan Biggerdike? Just giving a few more metres on each occasion to this Keighley side. And it's Whitford now that's looking to try and take his side forward. Keeps his legs pumping before being taken down. Brought down on that 30. That's shortened 30 and 40 here at Cougar Park. Burton then goes, and Jordan Schofield just go down that right-hand side. And Schofield's now going to be taken down on the halfway line. Burton goes right once more now into the hands of Isaac Farrell. Into the hands now Connor Sane, and Sane is nearly through. Taken down at the last minute. Shackley and Joe Lowe involved in the tackle. Ronan Michael gets the offload away in the hands of Jordan Schofield. Schofield, he gets his arm free now. Clem comes left into the hands of Bahadal. Now finds Dean, finds Clark. They could be in again. Brad Holroyd in this left hand side corner. Just puts his foot in touch. But that is the only thing that could save Whitehaven there. He spun away from Zendon Callender on this right hand side. The youngster finding it difficult on his debut on the right hand side wing for Whitehaven this afternoon. And it's just that awareness or lack of awareness from Brad Holroyd just to where his feet was. It was an ever closing space, but he's just couldn't stay in the field of play. Whitehaven breathe once again.
Yeah, massive sigh of relief, the breathing there. But yeah, absolutely dying for a penalty here because Keighley's defence is just so, because they've not had to do much defending, so that's why they are so on them within seconds and not being able to make too many inroads. Yeah.
Shackley takes the ball forward for Whitehaven. He's brought down, put down onto his back, 23 metres away from his own line, into the hands now of Jake Pearce. Because of that shortened 30 and 40, he's just over the 40 metre line when he's brought him down, into the hands now of Jack Kellett, and Kellett will take Whitehaven up to halfway. It is now the 5 and last. The Whitehaven need to find the touchline here. Joe Law, he'll put it up high in the air, will Joe Law, but it's going to be right down the throat of Ollie Whitford, collected 12 metres away from his own line, looks to fetch it forward. Involved in the tackle is Law alongside McQuiston and Kellett, 20 metres away as they play it, and it's now into the hands of Brad Holroyd, who's coming to the middle to try and take his side forward here. The former Widnes man, spent time at Workington as well, of course. Had a very successful spell with Town a few years ago, did Brad Holroyd. Into the hands of George Hill. Hill takes Cougars over their own 40. 6-7 metres short of the halfway line. Burton comes left into the hands of Bahadal. Back inside then to Ronan Michael. Trying to get his arm free is the Irishman, but put down onto his back just over the halfway line. Burton in at dummy half. Will go right. Finds George Hill for his second carry of the set on what is now the 5 and last. 30 metres out, let's call it, because they're right in the middle of that 30 and 40. Bahadal with the kick. Callender gets there, but he's met right away by the Cougars defenders, and they're going to be a change for Whitehaven. Brad Brennan being brought onto the field. Ethan Bickerdike has had to go himself from dummy half. Mark Shackley is the man that Brennan replaces.
Hopefully should give Zenden some confidence there, because that were a good take. I mean, it might not feel like it, but he's got absolutely white just seconds afterwards, but yeah, it's a good take under pressure.
Holgate in a dummy half into the hands now of the newly introduced Brad Brennan, and keeps his legs pumping, does Brad Brennan, before being brought down into the hands now of Kellett, on the hands of the fast player of the ball. Now finds Newbegin, finds Connor Holliday, and Holliday's going to be taken down on the halfway line here at Cougar Park. Newbegin will kick from dummy half, looks to get the kick, but it's going to be right down the throat once more of Connor Sainer. Fantastic tackle as he's met there by Jack Newbegin. Just feel that bit of game management might have been a better idea to try and maybe get it over the touchline, Dan Fowler.
Yeah, maybe so, yeah, because they're right on the attack here again, and up to nearly getting up to over halfway after 2 tackles, so yeah, they're just unable to slow him down, or to a degree at least.
Jordan Schofield, is it? No, he's just been brought off the field as Schofield. That's actually the winger, Dylan Proud. Lucas Green has come on to replace Schofield. Into the hands now with Baharol, and they're going to be just held on to it too long there, did Matty Baharol, but still nearly escaped the tackle from Jake Pearce before Connor Holliday, and Jack Newbegin was able to help him complete it there. Burton goes right into the hands of Ronan Michael, runs it across the line, keeps hold of it instead of going for the pass. 3 Whitehaven defenders involved there, but it is now the 5 and last. Burton in a dummy half will go right into the hands then of Farrell, and Farrell with a kick to the corner. Jay Weatherall will take it, but he's going to do well to stay in the field of play, and he does just. He's done very, very well there and showed some strength there, but Whitehaven going to be doing it tough once more as Mitchell Todd is now fetching it forward, and he's only got a metre or 2 there. The Cougars line speed really on top of it at the moment, and then judged to have knocked on playing the ball as Mitchell Todd. It's not quite raining, but Whitehaven will feel they've got just raining on their parade here, as they cannot catch a break at the moment. Liam Williamson brought on the field to replace Ellison Holgate. 16 minutes remaining in this first half. It's still 22-0 to the Cougars.
Yeah, it's a big set, because yeah, they'll go to within over the 4-score mark, won't they? It's they'll go 26 points up if they do score from less. So yeah, I'll have to see what they come up with from the scrum as well.
Baharol gets the ball from the base of the scrum. He lands a Connor Sainer. He couldn't take it. Whitehaven will look to collect. Finds Bickerdike, then finds Dave Eccleston. I was hoping Zenden Callender were there. He's got some speed. As Zenden was hoping he had an opportunity to break it there, but he'll be the man to fetch the ball forward now. 15 metres away from his own line as he gets up and plays this ball into the hands then now of Brad Brennan. They know what to do with Brad Brennan. 4 defenders were in and around the Whitehaven prop forward there. Williamson goes left into the hands of Joe Lowe. Now finds McQuiston, and he tries nearly and breaks out the tackle, does the former Millen man. Williamson scoots from dummy half, done well there to get 10, 12 into that 6 again in favour of Whitehaven. The first infringement the Cougars have conceded. It's 25 minutes on the clock. Jake Pearce is now the man to take Whitehaven forward in the middle of that shortened 30-40. Into the hands now of Newbegin. It's Low finds Bickerdike. Bickerdike nearly then broken through, but there's not a Whitehaven man there to support. That eventually is then with Connor Holliday, and Holliday's nearly breaking through. The Whitehaven captain this afternoon taken down. He's only 1.5 metres short. Williamson in there at dummy half, elects to go left into the hands of Jack Keller. Keller's going to be taken down. Got Cougars on the ropes here of Whitehaven. Williamson goes into the hands of Lowe, puts the kick in behind. Can they dive on it? Can Jay Weatherall dive on in that left hand side corner?
Yeah, try.
He can Jay Weatherall in that left hand side corner? It wasn't the cleanest of kicks. Mitchell Todd was trying to go for it, but it bounced towards Jay Weatherall, and the winger was able to get it on that left hand side corner. It's his first try of the season for Jay Weatherall. Can that be the start of a revival for Whitehaven? It's a long, long way to go, but you've got to start somewhere. Cougars 22, Haven 4.
Yeah, I think it's the first set that they've really won any ruck speed, and they've got the 6 again from the markers not being square, and they've made the most of it. The first real attacking set that they've had deep in Keighley's half. And it's a good little dink in from Joe Lowe and Whitford and Proud both together. The centre and the winger for Keighley couldn't get rid of it. Yeah, try time for Haven. Like you say, it has to start somewhere. So 22-4, kick to come, 13 minutes to go in the first half.
I remember coming here in 2019 when Whitehaven was searching for that League One title and had a similar start. Didn't concede as many points. I think it might have been 14, 16 or so on that afternoon. They turned it round and ended up scoring about in the excess of 40 odd points as Whitehaven was searching for the League One title this afternoon. They were in black on that afternoon as well. Is that a Norman here at Cougar Park this afternoon? Connor Holliday comes for it, right footed with the conversion. It's just going to fall short. Of course, not the regular goal kicker is Connor Holliday, but no Kieran Walker out there this afternoon, so Holliday has taken up the kicking duties still here at Cougar Park. Cougars 22, Whitehaven 4. A couple of changes more being made by the Cougars. Joe Baha and George Flanagan being brought onto the field. The former Bradford hooker will introduce some spice, let's out there say what George Flanagan.
Definitely so, yeah. His son's doing the same as well in Super League now, Flanagan Junior. So he's a good value, let's say.
Zenden Callender, the man to fetch it forward from the kick-off. Newbegin in there at dummy half, into the hands now of Brad Brennan. And we've seen there, if you can get an infringement, if you can get some ruck speed, there is plenty of opportunities there.
Yeah, definitely so.
What is that?
I'm not too sure.
Whitehaven fetch the ball forward. Dave Eccleston plays it centre of the field into the hands now of Keller. Law finds McQuiston. Just seemed a bit too bunched on that left hand side there, did Whitehaven. McQuiston's trying to be dragged towards the touchline, but he's taken down. 5 now short of halfway. Coming back towards the centre of the field now with Kellett, and Kellett steps and taken down, finds his front. It is the 5 and last. Williamson in there at dummy half, comes right into the hands of Newbegin, and Newbegin with the kick, and he's split the fullback and the winger, but it's found Connor Sainer, and Sainer's got to be the man to fetch it forward. There's a defensive line there from Whitehaven, and he will be brought down short of his own 20 and dragged back 2 or 3 metres as well there. Great work by the captain, Connor Holliday.
Yeah, definitely so. That's a good kick chase. Yeah, we just need to make sure that the discipline's on point here to ensure that we're not giving Keighley a piggyback up the field.
Is it Whitford on the opposite side of the field? Yeah, it is, from where he should be. Brad Holroyd is now fetching it forward, showed some strength there as Brad Holroyd, taken down by a combination of Newbegin and Eccleston. Flanagan goes right into the hands now with Baha. He's taken down. 5 short of halfway. Flanagan once more in there at dummy half. Now finds Lucas Green, the former Warrington man. Is he here permanent now? Is he on loan? I think he might be on a season-long loan, Lucas Green. Just over halfway now. What is the 5 and last as we've entered the 30th minute here at Cougar Park. Comes to Bahaddle. Bahaddle gets a high kick up in the air. Oh, don't tell me you're going to give a penalty for that. Even Biggerdike fumbles but collects at the second attempt. Deputising at full-back this afternoon. He's brought down 15, 16 metres away. Eccleston in there at dummy half. Into the hands then of Zenden Callender. Callender finds his front. 20 metres away. Eccleston once more in at dummy half. Second carry of the set there from Derek Eccleston, scooting from dummy half. Done well to find good metres there, did Eccleston. Williamson, not the best pass, but Newbegin bent his back, goes across the face, bounces into the hands of Mitchell Todd. Todd's got some speed as well. If he can try and find the gap, he can't. He's now brought down on the 40-metre line. Joe Lowe finds Jake Pearce, and Pearce will find halfway on the 5 and last. Williamson dives in a dummy half into the hands of Kellett, finds Newbegin. Newbegin looks to get the kick in behind. It's going to be right down the throat of Brad Holroyd, just held up in the wind. Half an hour gone, 22-4. Holroyd slips.
Yeah, a few. They're making just about the same amount of metres in every set of Whitehaven. There's been kicks from halfway. I don't know whether they're going to chance their arm maybe before half time to maybe give it a run on the last and try and catch Keighley unawares.
Whitford in off the wing to try and take his side forward. Good defence there from Whitehaven. Have stopped the winger who was involved in that. Kellett was, Williamson and Pearce as well. Goes right into the hands of Farrell. Now George Hill seems to have moved out on an edge in this last few sets as George Hill put down on the football halfway line, then plays it on the rugby halfway line. Comes across now into the hands of Isaac Farrell. Finds Bahaddle, pops it up to Alfie Dean. Kellett, Holliday, Pearce all involved in that tackle. He's now the 5 and last. 45 metres away, comes into the hands then of Bahaddle. Bahaddle puts the kick up in the air. Biggerdike's having to run, come forward for it, and he drops it. Does Bahaddle, but penalty for Whitehaven, offside within the 10. Let off for Whitehaven, an opportunity to get the ball down the field. First penalty of the afternoon for Whitehaven. Just that 1-6 again, previously conceded by Keighley before that. Interchanges for Whitehaven. Ellis Nixon and Jackson Smith on for his debut. Jack Kellett and Jake Pearce are the men to be replaced.
Yeah, let's see what they can do from here, because they're just about on halfway.
Eccleston will tap it and then finds Newbegin, finds Brad Brennan, and Brennan runs and fetches the ball forward. You know what he's going to do is Brad Brennan. Sometimes it's just really hard to stop him. Williamson, dummy half, goes left into the hands now of Jackson Smith. The Hensington Junior spent time at Hull FC when the FC side had their development programme over in the west of the Cumbria. But finds his front now. There's Ellis Nixon as he plays the ball into the hands now with Brennan. Brennan looked to get the pass away but kept hold of it himself, taken down 10 metres out. Comes right now into the hands of Newbegin. Into the hands of Dave Eccleston. Nice. Fantastic face ball from Jack Newbegin. And Whitehaven just says if you can get a front on. Whitehaven have had 1-6 again and 1 penalty, Dan Fowler. They have scored from both.
Absolutely. It's the presence of Brad Brennan is almost scaring the Cougars. Every time he takes up a carry, managing to get a quick play of the ball, and that gives Whitehaven the chance to really flourish in attack. And it's a superb ball from Jack there. A superb ball. And yeah, no stopping Whitehaven on that one. Yeah, it's 22-8, kick to come. Hopefully Connor can nail this one for 22-10, and it's not looking as bad. It's certainly not looking as bad. They've made the most of what they've had. That 1 penalty, that 1-6 again. They've scored from both. I was going to say it's been very little of what they've had. They've had to work for what they've got and then try and force them errors. To take those chances as well when they get them, and they have done. So fair play to them on that, especially from 22-0 down as well. It's tough. It's a tough place to be. But, yeah.
Goes across the face from Connor Holliday, as I say, not a regular goal kicker. Those might remember that wicked conversion he put into the in the 2019 final League One game, which then went viral from the RFL. It was sort of curved in, like more like a, like the Roberto Carlos 3 kick back. I mean, yeah, it was sort of like that, but yeah, he's not a regular goal kicker. He's Connor Holliday, and hopefully that doesn't come back to bite Whitehaven this afternoon. It is Cougars 22, Whitehaven 8. I tell you what, Dan Fowler, another before half time would be very much welcome.
Absolutely, yeah. And hopefully in front of the sticks as well. That'd be great, just to make sure. But yeah, absolutely.
What are you saying about Connor?
No, it's all good. But yeah, we'll see what they can do here from. Here's Brad again. First, I don't know why they've kicked that way. Why have they kicked that way?
I mean, I wouldn't want him done to me. I'd like to say that. Jackson Smith is now the man to take it forward. Put down onto his back. Smith played for Hensington last week in a pre-season friendly. Gets his opportunity in a Whitehaven shirt this afternoon. Into the hands now of Christian on that side. Nearly got his arm free, but didn't feel like it was on. It was up in the air, stripped surely.
Nice.
Penalty again for Whitehaven. Well, tell you what, that Keighley fan will think in front of us. You might have just picked that up on our mics here at Cougar Park. Thankfully, it wasn't a lot stronger than what he said.
Yeah, no expletives there, but It sounded like it could have been.
Could have been, yeah. So Whitehaven now have an opportunity. They'll start 25 metres away from the Cougars line. Mitchell Todd will be the man to take the tap, and he'll find Joe Lowe. He'll now find Ellis Nixon. Nixon stopped, up on contact. 21 metres out now. Whitehaven comes into the hands then of Newbegin. Finds then Brad Brennan and keeps his legs pumping. Does Brad Brennan. 11 metres out now. In line with the right hand side Porter. Coming down this right hand side once more. He's nearly through there. He's Jack Newbegin. Surely, he's just brought down at the last minute. It opened up. Williamson in there at dummy half. Now finds Connor Holliday. Whitehaven continue to knock on the door here at Cougar Park to try and reduce that deficit. Connor Holliday's taken down. He's judged to have been held up over the line. It's tight. If anything, he's in the field, the player's Connor Holliday, but he's been told that he's got to go back to the 10 metre line. Don't think Whitehaven will mind that too much, have a bit of space to work in. Williamson there at dummy half. Lowe goes left into the hands of Lowe. Finds Ethan Biggerdike. Biggerdike escapes one tackle. Now looking to try and break through there is Ethan Biggerdike. Trying to get his arm free. Finds his front. 5 and last. Surely a repeat set minimum. Whitehaven will want here. Williamson goes left into the hands of Lowe. Goes behind. It's just too deep from Joe Lowe. It's going to be a top 20 as we're just about to head into the 37th minute here at Cougar Park. George Flanagan trying to rally the troops. Whitford is the man to take it forward, and because that's short and 30 and 40, he's going to play this 9 metres short of halfway.
Yeah, they need to keep their eye on the ball here, because they're over halfway after. This is the first tackle, so yeah, we'll have to see what Whitehaven have got in defence. Can they be stoic?
Farrell runs across the line before being grabbed by Mitchell Todd. McQuiston helped him complete the tackle. Comes left now. Runs across the line into the hands of Joe Barhart. I'll be honest, I don't know if I'm saying that properly, but I'm sticking with it.
Sounds about right.
Sounds about right with how it looks. Flanagan comes left now into the hands of Baharul. They'll then find George Hill. It's on the opposite side of the field now is George Hill. He's been everywhere in this first half of the Cougars. Just under 3.5 left to go until the half-time hooter. Flanagan goes right into the hands of Dan Parker. Parker straightens it up. Finds his front. 4-5 metres out. Flanagan in there, the dummy half. And look to scoot and go himself. Will George Flanagan? I don't have to tell you. Don't have to tell you at all. That'll really disappoint Anthony Murray, that. I think it'll really disappoint the Whitehaven head coach. That the fact he's been able to score from dummy half, go right, come back inside and spin and spin and spin and got the ball down. Did the experience took her. It's the Cougars 5th of the first half. Cougars 26, Whitehaven 8.
You know what you're going to get from George Flanagan, especially on the last tackle as well. He's always going to chance his arm, and he's managed to duck away from one, spin away from one, should I say, and get the ball down with a few Whitehaven defenders in the vicinity. It's such a poor try to concede, more, especially on the last, and especially with 2 minutes to go of the half. 26-8, and the kick to come from in front. Beryl will probably be able to backheel this over.
Matty Mihaddle.
There we go.
Will tag on the extras. Cougars 28, Whitehaven 8. We're into the final 2 minutes of the first half here. And just as you felt Whitehaven were getting a bit of momentum, just that kick being a metre too long from Joe Law results in the Cougars getting a 4-pointer, end up being a 6-pointer at the other end. The smallest of smallest margins on the small surface here at Cougar Park.
Absolutely, and now with Beharrell 4 from 5, it's a four score lead, 28-8. So it is a long way back, but let's see. I mean, it's so important that they don't concede again with a minute and a half left to go. But that's a great start to the set.
Certainly is. Cougars fetching it forward on that right hand side through Lucas Green. Lockie Lansky now looking to try and fetch it forward here for Whitehaven, the Australian. He's on his knees trying to make more metres here, is Lansky. 25 metres away from their own line. Now because of that short and 30 and 40, they're now only 8 metres make that short of halfway. Holiday's in there at marker. Flanagan comes left into the hands of Baharul. They want more points here before the half-time break, and George Hill's nearly broken through. Dave Eccleston's eventually brought him down. We're into the final minute here at the first half at Cougar Park. Hill plays the ball. Flanagan goes right into the hands of Baharul. Looking to step back inside is Baharul, then taken down. It is now the 5 and last. 40 seconds left of the half-time hoot. It will sound. Goes right. Isaac Farrell kick towards the corner. Wetherell slid, but thankfully Mitchell Todd, it was there. It's fell shorter than where Wetherell would have been anyways.
Yeah, not the greatest of kicks, but yeah, managed to deal with it.
Jay Wetherell trying to break through there is Jay Wetherell, but he's taken down 23 metres away from his own line. Looking to go down that short side now with Rio McQuiston. And we'll get it up to the 9 metres short now with halfway. Williamson will find Joe Lowe. Do the chance arm here to Whitehaven. They find Brad Brennan. They've got one final play left. There is the hooter. Williamson goes from dummy half. That's not the play they would have been wanting. But it's half time here at Cougar Park. 5 tries to 2. 4 of them converted for Cougars. None of them for Whitehaven. Keighley 28. Whitehaven 8. And it was 20.
Hopefully we'll have more of that and more chances for Whitehaven, so they can get themselves back in this game and hopefully make Keighley think it's not all one-way traffic.
Whitehaven get the second half underway. They will be attacking right to left from our position here in the main stand here at Cougar Park. Keighley left to right, and they have possession now with Lachlan Lansky. Finds Matty Bihaddle, then finds George Hill. They're looking to go free from play 2 here in this second half. Looking to get his arm 3 is George Hill. He's still not taken down. I think that's 6 and 1/2 of the dozen over. He was getting up to play the ball when maybe wasn't held, so he's been taught to go back a couple of metres, but then Conor Holiday actually pushed him over. So, yeah, 6 and 1/2 a dozen of the other, but Keighley now back underway. Fantastic. Do we even have to ask? Brad Brennan, he's been Whitehaven's man of the match since he's come onto the field in both attack and defence, has the experience brought forward. Lucas Green now fetching it forward for the Cougars, just over that shortened 30 and 40, so 8 metres away, into the hands now of Farrell, finds Lansky, calls of a forward pass from one Whitehaven fan in and around here at Cougar Park, but it is now 5 and last, just on the halfway line, finds Farrell. Farrell puts the kick up in the air, it's going to be short, it bounces back into the hands of George Flanagan. He then looks to kick it forward, it's missed, and it's going to be scrummed down. No, it's not, it's going to be turnover ball.
Yep. Oh,
no,
offside.
It's not. Penalty for offside. How can be offside? Alright, fair dues. I mean, Jay Weatherall's come up with it, so we'll go with that. But Whitehaven will take that penalty. Let's not complain, it's in Whitehaven's favour, certainly, let's not. But Joe Lowe puts the ball into touch, Jay Weatherall will come and collect it, Mitchell Todd will take the tap, and he now finds Lowe. He'll find Brad Brennan, and Brennan will take Whitehaven over that halfway line, trying to get his arm free there is Flanagan. Sorry, he was Brennan, and Flanagan was in there to slow him down. Into the hands now of Joe Lowe. Lowe on that 30 metre line. Williamson goes right into the hands now of Brennan once more, and I think George Flanagan's got a job this half, let's just say that, because he's like man marking Brad Brennan at the moment. Goes right now into the hands of Lowe. Lowe looks to step back inside, does the half back, finds his front. 13, 14 metres out here to Whitehaven, still a couple of tackles left in the bank. Into the hands now of Newbegin. He went for the pass, but it was too late, so had to keep holding himself, did the half back. 9 metres out on what is now the 5 and last, to the right hand side of the post. Goes right into the hands of Conor Holiday. He's just going to turn this over, gets his arm through for the offload, and then collected by the Keighley man. Max Clark, I think, is it on that side that was the fastest to react? No, potentially not, but the Cougars now fetching it forward with George Hill.
It was good from Newbegin not to force that, because the pass wasn't on, so he had to keep the ball. But yeah, it wasn't the end of the set that they were looking for, and when the offload came away, let Keighley try and pick it up and hopefully look for a fumble, but nothing doing there. Keighley have the ball back and are coming towards the 40 metre mark.
He's been pushed back and then to the 30, then found the 40 again in a grand total of about 2.5 metres. There is George Hill. Flanagan goes left into the hands of Harold. They're looking to go down the short side, and they're down that left hand side through Alfie Dean. Flanagan in support. He kept holding it. Is it knock on? Is it a Whitehaven knock on or a Keighley knock on? We're still waiting to see, but overall, Jay Weatherall, whichever way it goes here, Jay Weatherall has saved a certain 4-pointer, and I think even though it also might be Whitehaven ball here.
Yeah.
Wow, Whitehaven's got away with one there. Whitehaven's got away with one there. He should have gone. He had options right and left. You bet that option was going left.
Yes.
To the corner.
Yeah.
But he's kept hold of it as Alfie Dean, and in the end up, Whitehaven somehow have ended up not conceding 4 points.
Be interesting if Whitehaven can get a couple of tries back without reply, because that might be significant. We'll see.
Be a
Hopefully,
huge one.
let's see.
Mitchell Todd being pushed back 2 or 3 metres there. He's lost it as well there as Mitchell Todd.
They've been good with the gang tackling, haven't they? And pushing Whitehaven back. I think that's the second or third time that's happened, and the second time that's come up with an error as well. So. That's not my ticket.
That's not mine because I didn't buy one. Exactly. Got to be in the lottery to buy it. To win here at Cougar Park. 4.5 minutes in the second half. Cougars scrum down, head and feed. 10 metres away from the Haven line. They've elected to put it in centre field. They've stacked numbers up on the left hand side. Whitehaven haven't really realised that unless Conor Holiday's gone from the base of the scrum into the hands of Alfie Dean. Holiday involved in that tackle. 3 metres away from the try line. Comes right now into hands of Lucas Green. Good contact from Brad Brennan, but he slipped in it as well. Could have been dangerous in terms of potentially for the health of Brad Brennan there, but he's got up and short, no ill effects. Comes right now into the hands of Bahadl. Now finds Farrell over the top. Whitford, he's going to try and drag him over the touchline. Done well there. Jay Weatherall was searching for that. He tried to get his hands to it, realised it was going to bounce. but they've done well there to get Whitford over the touchline, and it'll be Haven ball 10 metres out.
Yeah, nice work. It's a good job that Jay didn't try to collect that, because he was just out of his grasp, weren't it? So it would have been 6 more. Decided to let the Keighley man pick it up and dump him into touch. It's good work. It's good defensive work, especially with them having so much possession and so much territory in the last few minutes. They've come away unscathed. Oh wow! What a shot!
Fantastic shot on Dave Eccleston. Gets up to try to play the ball, plays it now into the hands then of Jackson Smith. The smell blood here to Keighley.
Absolutely.
Trying to pounce on the young man, hasn't made any metres forward there as Jackson Smith. Into the hands now of Brad Brennan. He's found plenty of metres forward. Ellis Nixon being taken out, but he gets the offload away into the hands of Joe Law. Really impressed me this afternoon since coming onto the field. 22-0 down, I might add, did Brad Brennan. Into the hands now of Ellis Nixon, and Nixon looks to fetch it forward.
Nice.
5 short now, halfway. As the former Seaton man plays the ball, comes in the hands now with Joe Law, finds Rio McQuiston. Put down onto his back is McQuiston. What is the 5 and last now? Comes right into the hands of Law. Law looks to get the kick up in the air. He's going to be putting the chase on it himself. Sena's there, collected it, and done well there as Joe Law to wrap him up all on his own. Will play the ball 11 metres out with the Cougars fullback.
Yeah, we're trying to give Keighley some of their own medicine, because they've defended really well of Keighley, especially deep in the Whitehaven half. But yeah, let's see what Whitehaven can come up with. They've won the quick play of the ball there, and they're going to get over the 40-metre mark after about 3 tackles.
Brad Holroyd, former Whitehaven Workington man, been put down onto his back.
No.
6 again, surely, first one of the half.
On its way. You run the risk.
Yeah. Just trying to slow it down at Whitehaven, and what we've seen, even never mind in the Championship, even in Super League, how much faster the ruck speed has been in the opening weeks of the season. Ball into the hands now of Flanagan, finds Sena. Sena spins out to 1.
Oh, wow.
And then gets them all the way to Farrell, finds Lansky. Weatherall's trying to get back, steps back inside as Lansky, gets the off all the way to Farrell. Farrell then gets away from Todd. Oh, fantastic from Isaac Farrell. Well, there could have been 2 or 3 try scorers in the end up. It was Isaac Farrell. He scored the first try in the first half. He scores the first try in the second for the Keighley Cougars. With 8 minutes into the second half here at Cougar Park. Isaac Farrell with his second of the afternoon. It's the Cougars 6 of the afternoon. Cougars 32, Whitehaven 8.
You never want to call it, but it's probably as good as game over, because if this conversion goes over, 26 points, 5 scores, it's a uphill task to say the very least. They did really well, did Whitehaven, to kind of ride the storm, I guess, of the first few minutes. But yeah, they're probably fortunate for Alfie Dean not to have passed that chance a few minutes ago. But yeah, they were at 6s and 7s there, and they got over, and that's the first try of the second half.
8.5 minutes gone in the second half here at Cougar Park, as Matty Bahadal's going to be lining up the conversion. 20 metres in from the touchline, so sort of 5 metres away from the exactly being right in front. He's Matty Bahadal. He takes his time, lines it up, right footed, right over the black dot, as you'd expect from Bahadal. Keighley 34, Whitehaven 8, and what Whitehaven won't want, Dan Fowler, is they won't want it to get embarrassing now.
No, absolutely. Don't want the scoreline to inflate and go towards 50. Yeah, it's probably a damage limitation now for Whitehaven, but yeah, it's just got when they've got the ball, just keep feeding Brad Brennan. He's made so many metres. He's been Whitehaven's best player by a mile, and that looks like it's going out on the full. Yeah, it looked like it might have just was going to dip at the last minute, but just was too far from Ethan Bickerdike. Trying to use the wind, I think there was advantage. It is a windy afternoon at the backs of Whitehaven now in the second half. It's too far, however. And as it's similar to the first half, we said, it wasn't raining for Whitehaven. It paused, Dan Fowler. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's definitely not what they needed. Just wanted to, when you were saying about the scoreboard not inflating and going out into the 50s, it's at 34-8. You've just got to play it set by set, and
with half an hour to go.
Yeah, exactly that. Yeah,
so
without a doubt.
Farrell now finds Bahadal. George Hill.
He's been good. He's been really good.
I've never seen him have a bad game.
Yeah.
I haven't. He was at Whitehaven shirt for 2 seasons across a few spells.
Definitely.
Was George Hill. Spent time obviously in Super League and played.
Started
a lot of games for Cass as well. He has.
Yeah.
But coming in out into the hands of Proudies on this side. gets away from that tackle into the hands of Farrell. He's searching for a hat-trick. Is Isaac Farrell coming back for a penalty for a high tackle on Dylan Proud. Don't think it as bad as it looked. He just sort of slipped as he went down as well, and
definitely
such things. But he didn't make anything of it. Did Dylan Proud?
Yeah, played on. Yeah, absolutely. He didn't go down to ground. But yeah.
Dan Parker, stalwart, been here a long time now. Is Dan Parker?
Yes.
Finds his front. Flanagan goes left into the hands of Baharul. Finds Sena. Sena looking to step back inside. Newbegin's done well to stop him, but he escaped the clutches. Did Connor Sena before now being brought down. Brennan once again involved in that tackle. They're going to have no markers here at Whitehaven. Flanagan dives, scoots from dummy half. They've done well there of Whitehaven to keep him out, especially with no markers. Is that Connor Holiday? It is that stopped George Flanagan there. Goes left into the hands of Baharul. They've got numbers, but Baharul has to come back inside. Too many numbers, I think, potentially Keighley. They were all sort of squashed on that left hand side. Sena's now going to be the man that's wrapped up. Flanagan in there at dummy half, 9 metres out. There's many metres in from the far left hand side touchline as well. Couple of pairs of hands now into the hands of Lucas Green. Green will be put down onto his back. 5 and last, one more for Whitehaven to survive here. There's a big gap in the Whitehaven right hand side defence. It's now closed, but Baharul gets a kick in behind, and there's that try that George Hills deserved. The Keighley man of the match for me so far, alongside Farrell and Baharul, who have been after handing absolutely everything, but we're just about to tick over into the 53rd minute here at Cougar Park. It's the Cougars 7th of the afternoon. It's Keighley Cougars 38. Whitehaven 8.
Yeah, very clinical from the Cougars there. Nice little dink from Baharul. George Hill, as you've said, yeah, definitely deserved a try, and he's got one. He'll go to 40 points on the score line. Yeah, it's just Whitehaven not helping themselves really. I understand trying to use the wind from the kick-off, but and that didn't come off. They give him a chance, and Keighley made the most of it.
Everyone loves a bit of Neil. Whitehaven fans might not be loving it at the minute because it means the Cougars scored another try. Just under 27 and a half left remaining here at Cougar Park. Keighley 38, Whitehaven 8. Matty Baharul lining up to the conversion. Oh, he's knocked it off at the best part. What's he doing? But Baharul lining up the conversion here for the Cougars, looking to go 7 from 8. 6 from 7? 7 from 8? 6 from 7. Is Matty Baharul. He's missed.
Wow.
I don't get that from Matty Baharul all too often. It's the near left hand side post as well, so it's not like it's gone across the face from Matty Baharul. He's 5 from 7 so far this afternoon. Mark Shackley onto the field. He replaces the debutant Jackson Smith. Cougars 38, Haven 8. Haven just need to stay in this contest now, Dan Fowler.
Yeah, definitely so. As we said the set before, about 2 minutes ago, about damage limitation and making sure that you don't gift Keighley any opportunities, and they kicked it out on the full, so that one's safe enough.
Yeah, a lot safer for me from Big Dyke. Bounces kindly into the hands of Farrell before Ronan Michael now reintroduced for the Cougars. He gets the offload away into the hands of George Flanagan. Finds Farrell, side playing full of confidence.
Yeah,
so we're seeing at the moment from this Keighley side. Flanagan goes left into the hands of Lucas Green, trying to spin out the tackle. There's Green, but there's still Whitehaven contingent there. Ellis Nixon and Mark Shackley. Comes into the hands now of Ronan Michael. Brought down McQuiston and Brennan involved in that tackle. Flanagan into the hands of Farrell. Sena, is it? Yeah, the fullback. He's been dragged back 3 or 4 metres there as Connor Sena. Good work from the Whitehaven defence once they were eventually able to capture him. Goes left now into the hands then of Dan Parker, and Parker's nearly broken through the line, but Whitehaven bring him down. Connor Holiday rives away from the tackle. He looks like in a little bit of pain, but gets up and tries to get back in the defensive line. Kick over the top from the Cougars. Even Bickerdike will allow that just to go over the touchline. A bit tighter than I think he thought it was going to be, but it has bounced, and it means Haven will have the ball centre field 10 metres away from their own line.
It's the old cliche of game management. I know Keighley probably don't need to do that at 30 points up, but they've done that there. But I think Whitehaven will be breathing a sigh of relief a little bit because they've not conceded. So yeah, they've just got to play out this set, coming from deep, make sure there's no errors.
Mitchell Todd, ball in hand, gets up, plays it. Williamson in there at dummy half. Comes into the hands now of Jay Weatherall. Is that George Flanagan? No, it wasn't, it was Farrell.
Yeah.
Picked up there. held probably should have been called a little bit earlier because his feet was off the ground. Just gets up and smiles as Jay Weatherall. Oh, wow. Mitchell Todd done well there, but now he's being pushed back 4-5 metres there as Mitchell Todd.
Dan Parker on him.
Into the hands now of Brennan. Now, you're not pushing Brad Brennan back, but they do well just to get him on his front to the Cougars. Goes right. Newbegin looks to get it down the line. He's got it behind Sainer and Flanagan. They won't mind. I don't think a tap 20 here. I think they're just clearing the lines and they've used the wind.
Yeah.
I don't think they'll mind the tap 20, although they could do without defending the other tackle, but it's probably better than fetching it from around about the halfway line.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, they're probably going to start here around the 30-metre mark, whereas the return, if it's caught on the full, you're probably going to get an extra 20 or 30 metres, because Whitehaven will be tiring now as well, the amount of defending that they've had to do.
Cougars man will get up and play the ball. Flanagan will go left into the hands then of Ronan Michael. Ellis Nixon was going to be pinned for offside, so done well to jump out to the tackle. Flanagan goes left into the hands of Matty Behaddle. Now finds George Hill. Brennan, fourth man in, eventually helps bring George Hill down. Flanagan comes right then into the hands now of Lucas Green. Finds Michael. Great ball and all effort from Liam Williamson alongside Rio McQuiston. Couple of tackles left. Farrell looking for the kick over the top. Collects that's why George Flanagan isn't a halfback. Ethan Pickerdike gets the quick tap and is now being brought down 28 metres away from his own line.
It's probably the first 7 tackle set they've had, I think.
Yeah, from what I can remember, for one like that, yes. I mean, they've had 1-6 again. But into the hands now of Ellis Nixon. Rio McQuiston struggling just there in back play. He has been struggling with cramp as Rio McQuiston. I know he's trying to get it investigated and looked into, but just obviously these sort of surfaces aren't the best. Gets the offload away, does even Bickerdike, finds Dave Eccleston. I don't think Eccleston will thank him for that one. Newbegin has to dive in at dummy half, now into the hands of Mark Shackley. Finds his front, does the experienced man.
Oh no, other way. Yeah.
When it rains, it pours, Dan Fowler.
Yeah, it's cardinal sin of conceding a penalty when you've got possession. But yeah, he's just almost trying to find his front. But I think the referee's saying that it's a bit of a push. Is it? Yeah, and the marker's gone to ground. He's played for it. I think it's George of all people as well.
Of course it was George. Of course it was George Flanagan. They elect to take the tap because of the windy conditions to get to the Cougars. So Shackley and Holiday involved as Dan Parker is brought down 5 metres or so short of halfway, just to the left of centre. Go left once more now towards that touchline, but back inside and finds Connor Sainer. Williamson impressed me on his step up from the community game as well as Liam Williamson. The Seaton hooker, of course, played Cumbria League last season. The Seaton made the step down from the NCL last season, so you know it's a big step up to League 1 rugby. It's not even League 1 rugby anymore, it's Championship rugby, of course. Cougars now come right from the play of the ball into the hands of Farrell, finds Lockie Lansky. Lansky put down initially nearly on his back. That's scruffy. Goes left now into the hands of Michael. Brennan in there once more. Shackley trying to get his arm free. Does get his arm free and finds Flanagan. Schofield, that's forward. Schofield couldn't or wasn't expecting it. I mean, why you wouldn't be expecting the ball with George Flanagan on your left hand side, I've got absolutely no idea. But scrum down, head and feet to Whitehaven as we've just entered the 60th minute.
I'm not sure how many carries Ronan Michaels had where he's not offloaded the ball.
There won't be many.
Yeah, there won't be many at all. Yeah, he's just extending the play for Keighley, and that's causing issues for Whitehaven's defence. Well, they've managed to halt the hosts here on this occasion. But still coming from deep, so we'll have to see what we can do. It's not a bad little half break from Connolly.
Eccleston nearly through. Into the hands now of Ethan Bickerdike. On the 30-40, so Whitehaven will be over that 40 in just a moment. Williamson now finds Newbegin. Newbegin will have to take them over. There wasn't too many options in support to what he was, his left-hand side. Williamson in there at dummy half. Bemoaning the slow play of the ball. Into the hands then of Brad Brennan. Ball hits the ground, knock on, Ethan Bickerdike. He's not happy with something there, is Ethan Bickerdike. Mitchell Todd's just pulling the Keighley man back, not too much there. Isaac Farrell, and I think Farrell said, I don't know what you mean, nothing really went on. Just past the hour mark, scrum down, head and feed to the Cougars. on the Haven 40, which is a metre and a half, 2 metres away from the 30.
Brad trying to be a half-back. the ball went to ground.
Every prop forward think they can be,
exactly.
they can be a half-back.
This is it. Yeah. I mean, yesterday they were all at it with the passing to each other, the props, and it's like, what's going on here? Prop Forwards Association, the union will be very happy.
Goes left on the base of the scrum. George Flanagan being withdrawn. That's his afternoon's work done as Ollie Burton coming onto the field. Meanwhile, Brad Holroyd just being wrapped up on the far left-hand side. George Hill will now fetch it forward once more. Got a fantastic engine on him, this George Hill. Week after week, he'll give you 80 minutes in the forwards. Green across the line now finds Farrell, finds Sainer, finds Proud. Great work from Mitchell Todd and Jay Weatherall. 10 metres out of the Cougars. Whitford in there at dummy half. Into the hands now of Farrell, back towards the middle with Jordan Schofield. And Schofield, is it a couple of tackles still left in the bank? Yes, it is. So Burton will be lining way at dummy half, and he will go left. Finds Farrell, Baharrell, left once more. Trying to get into Holroyd once more, the right to left, and Anthony Murray making a triple change. And that will be their final changes. It'll be 6, 7 and 8 here for Whitehaven with 18 minutes to go. It is now the 5 and last. Comes into the hands of Baharrell. Baharrell going to look for the crossfield kick. Oh no, surely not. Surely not. Surely not. He's having a conversation. Referee Luke Bland with the touch judge. He's going to give this. He's going to give this. He's going to give this. That's Jordan Schofield of all people, potentially? Or is it Proud, potentially? Kick come over from Baharrell.
In slow motion.
Yeah, the kick come over from Baharrell. Jay Weatherall was a bit closer to the touchline. He had to try and come forward for it. Sort of been a non-mid-air challenge. It's been on the ground. They've sort of hit each other. Balls hit the floor. I think it was Proud who dove on it. No, Jordan Schofield, I was right.
Yep.
I just wasn't expecting a prop forward to be out on the right-hand side edge. If anything sums up Whitehaven's afternoon, Dan Fowler, it's that.
Yeah, absolutely. Fumblingly in goal, and it's and he's there, Johnny on the spot, Jordan Schofield. But yeah, it's I think it's obviously with the knock on, he's bounced more into the middle, and that's where he were. But yeah, it's tough on with the referee and the touch judge having a chat. We weren't sure what was going to go on, whether it was just going to be a goal line dropout or if it were 2 knock-ons. But yeah, it's try for Keighley, 44-8, 16 minutes, just under 16 minutes actually, just over 16 minutes.
We'll get there eventually.
Yeah.
BBC Radio, Cumbria Sports Online, just around 16 and a half minutes to go here at Cougar Park. Ethan Bickerdike will put the ball down on the kicking tee. Jack Kellett, Jake Pearson, Alison Holgate have all been introduced. We'll try and work out who's not out there anymore. It will be Brad Brennan, Liam Williamson and Ellis Nixon for Whitehaven. 16 left on the clock to try and hopefully get some more points on the board and hopefully not concede some 2 more, because points difference isn't looking the best for Anthony Murray's side at the moment. Green finds Jordan Schofield, the latest try scorer, wrapped up somehow right in the middle of the 30 and the 40, but then he's belly flopped his way over to the 40. Burton goes into the hands now, and Michael finds Baharrell. Sainer is going to be wrapped up, and he's going to be put down a metre short of the halfway line. Burton in there at dummy half. George Hill. What Whitehaven fans wouldn't give for George Hill back in their side this afternoon. Gone through a lot of work as George Hill. Comes into the hands now of Baharrell. Baharrell puts the kick in, 40 metres out. Bickerdike's having to run to get there, collects it on the full. There's Ethan Bickerdike trying to get the ball back inside. Collected by Keighley, collected by the Cougars. They have a fresh set of 6, searching for 50 points here to the Cougars. George Hill bounces off 1, bounces off 2, and then taken down. And then we're calling for a penalty for offside. Whitehaven might actually want that just so they can slow it down.
Yeah, have a little bit of a breather. Yeah, it's the pressure's on. The pressure's definitely on as Keighley looking for 50 and go within 5 metres.
Through Ronan Michael, the Irish international. Burton in there at dummy half, comes right now into the hands of Fowler, finds Rocky Lansky. Can the former Whitehaven man get over? He's going to be brought down, only half a metre short. Burton into the hands then of Lucas Green. Oh, fantastic. Oh, he's got it down. I thought Ellison Holgate had just got underneath him there, but he hadn't at the hooker. And it's 48 points to 8 here at Cougar Park. It is the Cougars' 9th try of the afternoon. Lucas Green going over for his first of the afternoon, and Matty Bihaddle will have somewhat of an easy conversion to make it 50 for the Cougars.
Yeah, you were saying about 10-15 minutes ago about not wanting the score to implode, and it's looking that way. Lucas Green with a big effort from 5 metres out, just managing to muscle his way through the Whitehaven defence, almost like a little, not quite a second effort as such, but he's still up, he's not held, and he's just managing to dot the ball down with 2 or 3 Whitehaven men around him. Yeah, back to worse for Anthony Murray's side here in West Yorkshire.
Matty Bihaddle will line up the conversion, and if he misses, I'll eat here with a donkey to tag this 50 points on. Well, Matty Bihaddle. Closer than I thought he was going to be, but he has made it 50 points to 8 here at Cougar Park. Matty Bihaddle has converted 7 of the Cougars' 9 tries. Keighley 50, Whitehaven 8. See if some scores elsewhere around Rugby League this afternoon. In the Super League, Huddersfield 4, Wakefield 8. 2 o'clock kick-off, Midlands 30, Batley 12, Newcastle 10, North Wales 14, Rochdale 0, Hunslet 30. There were 26-0 up at the break. That one were Hunslet. Swinton 6, London 54. There were 32-6 up at the break for London in that one. Cougars now looking to fetch the ball forward. Burton in there at dummy half, following Whitford playing the ball. Finds Ronan Michael. Burton goes left. Couple of pairs of hands before finding Bihaddle. Going out left on that right hand side into the hands of Brad Holroyd. Eccleston's trying to get back. He's got some pace as Brad Holroyd. He's got plenty in support. Alfie Dean. The Cougars' 10th of the afternoon. And just for fun now are the Cougars. Into the 69th minute here, they've scored their 10th of the afternoon. And Dan Fowler, I think we're running out of things to say about this Keighley side and this performance we're seeing overall this afternoon.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, they've put the ball out wide earlier on in the set, and Brad Holroyd managing to get his to spread his wings down the wing, and yeah, unlike earlier on with Alfie Dean going for the line himself with support, he's the beneficiary of this one, and he gets over for Keighley. It's a nice move. The Whitehaven just can't quite stop the bleeding here. But Herald looking to add the extras for 56-8. It will be if it goes over. Back to you, unfortunately, Jordan. Sorry about that. I won't be invited back, will I?
No, that you've done, pal. Matty Bihaddle, as we just tick over into the 70th minute, looking to tag on and add extras to Keighley's 10th try of the afternoon here at Cougar Park. And he does. Keighley 56, Whitehaven 8. BBC Radio, Cumbria Sport Online. I'll be honest, I don't imagine there's too many you still listening, but if those who are, thank you very much for staying with us here at Cougar Park. 10.5 to go for Anthony Murray's side on what has been another tough afternoon on Haven's return to the championship. But this was against a side that finished below them in League One last season, so I think there will be extreme disappointment within the Whitehaven camp for this one. We'll catch the thoughts of Anthony Murray post-match, of course. But we've still got 10 minutes to go here at Cougar Park. Whitehaven attempted to try and find the touchline with the ball into the floor. George Hill has lost that one. Judged to have been stripped. Cougars' 9th penalty of the afternoon, the fifth of the second half. In the meantime, Whitehaven have had just 3 penalties, and I think that just says everything about how Keighley have got being able to keep themselves on the front foot. They have been a much better side this afternoon, Dan, but
yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
Whitehaven have at times been their own worst enemy.
Nice, good work.
Fantastic.
Jack Kellett, I think. It was
no, Mark Shatley. Mark Shatley. That was in there.
It was within the vicinity there as well.
Kellett was not hanging around yet. Yeah. I was looking at you, so I'm assuming Shatley was the one that was closest to the man, so we'll give it to Mark Shatley. It's going to be scrum down, head and feed to Whitehaven here.
Come on, let's get a try.
Whitehaven will want some more points on the board for their efforts. Scrum down, head and feed. Newbegin will feed the scrum. Will come left. Now into the hands of Law. We'll find Todd. Law then taken out.
Yeah, can't be a penalty lot.
That's just silly.
Yeah,
you're 48 points up, man.
Don't need to be doing that. A little bit of a late shot, yeah.
Whitehaven won't mind. Get an opportunity to put the ball. Law, ball in hand. Will go to touch. Haven't quite made as many metres as Keighley had on the kick this afternoon, even with the wind at the backs in this second half. Joe Everall goes and collects it and finds Mitchell Todd. Todd will take the tap and take it himself. Will the centre, taken down, 19 metres away from the try line. Holgate goes right into the hands of Kellett, finds Newbegin, finds Biggerdike. Oh, he's lost it as Ethan Biggerdike. I was going to say, what's he waiting for? Holgate had kicked it forward, and he still hadn't blown the whistle until Holgate then collected the ball. Scrum down, head and feed to Keighley. No idea why we waited that extra 10 seconds, but scrum down to the home side into the final 8 minutes here at Cougar Park.
Almost a bit of panic there, weren't they? As soon as he were wrapped up and he's being sent back, it's wanting to get the ball out to anyone, and it just so happened that he couldn't. He juggled it forward. Keighley ball. 20 metre mark.
Where is that hooter?
Yes.
Ball comes right from the base of the scrum. And the Keighley side make it to 25 away from their own line. Maybe a little bit more now with Dylan Proud. Burton in there at dummy half. Marcus weren't square. Whiteham's got away from that one. Burton plays it now. Goes left. Into the hands of Jordan Schofield. Finds his front. Burton in there at dummy half. Will go left, finds Farrell. Joe Baha back out there for the Cougars, put down onto his back. Comes right now. Michael. Now finds Jordan Schofield, can't take the pass. Just trying to play it a little bit too much now, Keighley, but with your 48 points up, you can try things and see how they go.
I think he did well to catch the ball from the dummy half, Ronan Michael, but then decided to fire the ball just as fast as what he received it at. To his fellow teammate, but yeah.
Here, this is what I had.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, one I made earlier.
Yeah. Scrum down, head and feed to Whitehaven. Joe Law will feed the scrum. Goes right now into the hands of Jack Newbegin. Out the back then to Ethan Biggerdike. Biggerdike's going to break down that right hand side. Oh, I want sending Callender to get that ball. I just want to see his speed. He has got plenty of abundance. Those that were at the Stevie Scully testimonial match would have seen that back in November when he outpaced the Workington Speeds to Zadin Galea. Comes into the hands now of Newbegin, pops it up into the hands then of Mark Shatley. Shatley put down onto his back by 4. Is it Cougars defenders are in and around there somewhere? Just the 3. Holgate, dummy half. Has to go himself, running across the line. Finds McQuiston.
Well.
Gets the offload away. Law then finds Mitchell Todd. There's an opportunity here for Whitehaven. Keighley's defence had a little bit of 6s and 7s, but they recover to wrap up Mitchell Todd. 5 minutes 40 left on the clock. Holgate, dummy half, goes right. Law finds Keller. Out the back now to Newbegin.
Bit slow. Yeah.
Newbegin's then going to be wrapped up. 5.5 left on the clock. Just to the right hand side of the post. 12 metres out. Law now gets it back inside to Ethan Biggerdike. Tried to go for it on the last. Gets the offload away. Finds Holgate. Fantastic offload, but it's into the hands of a Keighley man, Ollie Burton, and then lost. It's a fresh set of 6. Into the hands now with Jake Pearce. Oh, Pearce is taken down from behind. Whitehaven on the front foot here. Haven't said that an awful lot in this contest. Into the hands now of McQuiston. McQuiston steps inside. They had numbers on this left hand side. They could have got it over. Could Whitehaven, but they're only a metre out now. Holgate in there. Dummy half. 6 again in favour of Whitehaven. Into the hands now of Keller. Keller with the dummy and dives over.
No stopping him from there.
You aren't stopping Jack Kellett from there. Just into the 76th minute here at Cougar Park. Whitehaven 2 hit back through Jack Kellett. And what will be his first try of this season was Whitehaven's leading try scorer last year, of course. Doesn't make the scoreboard look an awful lot better, but slightly better. Cougars 56.
Did someone say last try win?
Haven 12. Oh, can we play them scoregrounds?
Rules of the playground.
Can we play the rules of the playground?
Oh, yep.
Oh, I thought he'd missed it. I thought he'd missed it.
No, he's got some conversion.
Holiday does have the extras from right in front, but he just sort of swung a leg at it more than anything else. Did Connor Holiday. I think they all just want the final hooter to go and do as well, Whitehaven, but
hey, some celebrations behind the sticks there for the Whitehaven fans.
Yeah,
a little bit of something for
for that long journey. Actually, back up the A65, up the Skipton, up that way. And, they don't make that much journey up the motorway to Whitehaven on this one, but. I'm just making notes, sorry, I'm just making sure that who scored. Keighley have put the ball down on the kicking tee. Holiday added the extras. And play is back underway. Whitehaven collect through the boot. Sorry, through. Is it sending Calendar on that far side? It looks like. But he's put down behind his own 10 metres. Into the hands now of Ethan Bickerdike, and Bickerdike's going to be pushed back and pushed back. Jake Peters gets involved just to help his teammate out, so he wasn't going forward or back any further, I should say. Holgate in there at dummy half, picks it up, escapes a couple of tackles there, does Holgate. Low, dummy half, looking to come down the short left hand side, into the hands of Bickerdike, into the hands of Jay Weatherall, and Weatherall will have chance, try and take his speed, but then he's going to be taken down. Fantastic recovery from Ollie Whitford, and now Keighley on the front foot. Sena out, and then we're going to be knock on. He's going to come back for the Whitehaven knock-on as Jay Weatherall lost it as he hit the floor. Scrum down, heading feet to the Cougars. Just over 2.5 minutes on the clock.
Yeah, nice last-ditch tackle there from
Ollie Whitford.
Yeah. Ollie Whitford on Jay. Scrum on halfway. It's Isaac Fowler giving him a little bit of a talking to Jay Weatherall. Even though he did absolutely nothing within that tackle. But yeah. And no idea what that noise was. I don't know what's happening around here.
We'll leave you. Let's just leave them to it. Goes left now into the hands of Bahaddle from the base of the scrum. Tries to escape and does escape the clutches of the tackle, which was Jack Kellett, but Holiday and Shackley fetch him down, push him back to pretty much where he started anyway, so nothing lost there from Whitehaven. Joe Barhart wants now fetching Whitehaven forward over that shortened 40 and 30, so now 28 metres away from the Haven line. Burton will skip and go left. Bahaddle catches it at the second attempt, back into the hands now of Ollie Burton from Ronan Michael. Burton then finds and he hits the floor, was searching for Schofield, bounces kindly into the hands of Isaac Faddle, still searching for that hat-trick is Isaac Faddle. Joe Lowe done very well to keep hold of him and just slow it down so the Whitehaven defenders could recover and fetch him down. Burton comes down this short right hand side now. Sena steps back inside, Piers can't grab hold of him. Burton then finds Schofield finds his front. The 160 here to the Cougars. Burton looks to go himself, taken down. 5 and last, one more for Whitehaven to survive. Surely what will be the Cougars' last set of the contest. Lansky in the hands now of Farrell, puts the kick in behind. Bickerdike collects, spins away from it, and now looking to fetch it forward. Michael and Baha's going to be the man to fetch the Haven full back down. 50 seconds left on the clock. Holgate lying in wait at dummy half. Will go right into the hands of Newbegin. Now finds Connor Holiday. Holiday put down onto his back, the Whitehaven captain. 40 seconds left in the contest here. Kellett continues to fetch the ball forward. Still a lot of talk out there from Whitehaven, which I think Anthony Murray will be happy to see. Holgate scoots, now finds Pierce, then tries to go along with Weatherall. It's hit the ground, he's now kicking it forward, continues to kick it forward. Finds Ellison Holgate, couldn't collect with Ellison Holgate.
Story of the game.
That would have been it could have been if Holgate had finished it. The fantastic section on what happens next on Question of Sport, because no one surely would have got that.
Weren't a set play.
Yeah, no, let's say that one certainly wasn't. Hooters about to sound here at Cougar Park. Scoreboard's done me dirty. scoreboard has done me dirty here at Cougar
I
Park.
think everyone would agree that it won't be bad if it goes now. Just
blow it.
It's fine.
What's 2 seconds amongst friends? Into the hands now of Holroyd. Holroyd will fetch it forward. We continue.
Not been many stoppages lost.
There hasn't. And the scoreboard has been stopping the scoreboard clock. So the timekeeper fell asleep. Keighley continued to fetch it forward. Burton lining weight at dummy half. 8 metres or so short of halfway here of the Cougars. Schofield will take Cougars over halfway now. McQuiston, Holgate and Kellett all involved in the tackle to fetch him down. Comes into the hands now of Farrell. Farrell then looking to go wide for Whitford. Whitford will then look to step back inside. Pearce and Joe Lowe to fetch him down. Burton goes left into the hands now of Farrell. Baharrell looking for a kick over the top. Callender's having to try and recover. Does he bounce kindly? There is the hooter. Just didn't take the bounce that it needed to go into the hands of Brad Hall right there. But it's full time here at Cougar Park. Keighley 56, Whitehaven 14. A difficult afternoon for Whitehaven on the road as their search for the first victory of 2026 continues.